Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tammie Jean stream. It's Thursday night, and I'm happy you all came to hang out with us. Jasper's halfway. He was sitting in this chair a second ago, and now he laid down. Now nobody can see you, man. Mom's on the TV. You want to be on the TV with Mom? No. You get to look at his butt. Let me see who's here tonight. Mudball Don was first, and he was also first yesterday, but for some reason early messages go away. But he was back and he was first again. So thank you, Mudball. TJ Giggles and Drones is here. Jody Drone Shots, how you doing? Lambo wrote something very long. It looks poetic. I'll read it later, Lambo. Are you serious? What is all this? It is. It's a poem. Perhaps something for deep chats. Joe Fodolio. Ayo. Who else did I see in here? Dominic is here with 100% participation. Dominic, we're coming up on 2 years. You know that? Almost 2 years of 100% participation. So thank you for always being here. Philip Koshat is here. He said he fell down. Oh man, sorry to hear that, Philip. Wedge and Big is here. Oh, briefly, he said he's going to watch the replay. Peter Carroll is here. Hi, Peter. Doug Rostad. $2 for Jasper for being a good boy. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. I'll put it towards his Butter Crunch Cookie Fund. Robob is here. My girlfriend's back is hurting and the neighbors invited us to their hot tub. Watch out for that, Bob. Your neighbors sound very friendly. Rigor Mortis is here. Hey, Mark. The intro top. Wait, the intro needs top. Be way, way longer. I'm not sure what you mean, Mark. I'm not following. I think the intro is getting a little bit long. Thank you to all my members. H4 Services is here. Hey, Tom. Oh, not sure if my phone is waterproof, so I might not check back. That's okay. You take pictures. Rude Dog is here. Hi, Rudy. Paul, I think I might owe you a wrench. I do. Thank you for being here. Let me see. What did I do? Oh. Add as moderator. Hi, Paul, and welcome. Mercury Moyes is here. Recovery One Drone. Hey there, Dre. CT Pirate is here. Droning Veteran. Hey, Dan. Am I to the bottom? I am to the bottom. Oh, no, Quick Cat. And Mad Props. Hey, Randy. Okay. All right. So glad you could all make it tonight because I have a great guest. She's waiting in the back room. I think she fell asleep. She's getting bored. I had to say hi to everybody, though. Hey, In the Woods is here. Good to see you, Alan. So let me bring her in. Let me introduce you to shoot. Oh, there it is. Let me introduce you to MAKO REACTRA. Hello. Testing, testing. Let me hear you talk.
Hey, how are you, Tammie? Thanks for having me.
Sounds good. It's great to have you here. I have been saying since I started my live stream that I would love to highlight more female pilots in the hobby. And so finally this year, I'm going to try to make sure I keep myself to it. So welcome. We have a lot to talk about, actually, a lot. And I would like you to introduce yourself. But before that, I'm going to let you introduce yourself on a little clip I saw yesterday, which was, I pulled it from when you were being interviewed for Flow State.
Oh, My husband and I started with tiny whoops after we saw some steel videos. We basically found this hobby shop and became part of the community, and we started to run races there weekly. I race with Multi-GP, and I've been racing for about 2 years now, and I've probably been in over 100 races. I definitely prefer racing, and I think it is the competitiveness of it. I'm always trying to fly faster lap times, better lines, being more consistent. I really hope to see more women flying. I think we can pull over a lot of aerial photographers. I've created a Discord and we have over 60 female pilots in it. So I want women to know that you can do this. You don't have to have a mentor. There's so many resources online. Join our Discord, get in Facebook groups, watch a lot of Joshua Bardwell.
See you there.
So I already, just from watching that, I already had so many questions for you. When you set up these events, like where do you set it up? And what do you actually set up all the lights and the hoops and all of that?
Well, for the tiny whoop racing, which is racing with these little guys indoors with the LED gates, it's a real team effort. We set up the tracks. I design the track quite often. We'll lay it out ahead of time. I like to put it in the computer and plan where the gates are going to go. And we also like to do theme races. And we've done Alice in Wonderland. We've done Tron. We've done Super Mario. So I do a lot of that planning. And I put the race on the internet. And then we, as a team, go and we typically set up the track together. It requires a lot of work getting up and down on the ladder and adding the electricity part by plugging them in, and then setting everything up through Multi-GP on the computer. So kind of each person takes a role doing that. Multi-GP is very grassroots. It's run by pilots for pilots. So like I said, we all work together, and people are coming from different states to our races.
Oh, wow.
Some of them travel a couple hours. And then in the spring, we start flying outdoors. And I don't do too much of that setup. We have other guys doing that and planning the tracks for that. But I do a lot of the social media, and we'll post the races. And so, like I said, we all sort of have our role.
How many people do you usually get at your events?
For tiny whooping, around, it depends. If it's a big race, we can have about 20, but typically I'd say we have about 10. And then outdoor racing, I would say maybe 15 or so at each race. But if it's a bigger race, we could have about 30 people.
Wow, that's a lot. I know I've heard of groups trying to get together and, being somewhat disappointed that they only had 4 or 5 people. It's like, you found 4 or 5 people near you that want to race. Like, that's a great start, Let me say hi. A few more people showed up. I see Novice Quads is here. Hi, Lawrence. Who else did I see? I saw another name that I didn't see earlier. Randy said, whoop, whoop. Ooh, Mark is registered Multi-GP pilot under the same name, Rigor Mortis. I have 1 race under my belt. I never get over to Vancouver. Well, it sounds like good fun. I've never done that. She flies Accra. What's your experience? Well, that leads me to a few more questions, to be quite honest. Like, I feel like it takes some time and some dedication on the sticks to get good at this sort of thing, right? I don't think that you pick up your drone and you're just like an acro flyer. I feel like it takes some time and dedication. How long would you say that you felt like you were a ship pilot?
I still feel like a ship pilot.
No, you do not. Come on.
No, it's like a joke in the FPV community. They make sweatshirts that actually say ship pilot on them. And the best pilots wear them. So I don't know. You knew about it, I guess.
No, I did not. I just consider myself a ship pilot. That's so funny.
That's a compliment.
I had no idea.
I mean, I think now I feel like I have a flow, and it feels really good going around those gates. But it took a while. I couldn't even tell you when. a few years, honestly. And when I first started flying, I flew in angle mode, tiny whoops. So
Yeah.
when I transitioned outside, that's when I started learning acro. And I used a bigger whoop. This thing was amazing to learn acro on. It was super
Ooh, what is
stable.
that?
I know it looks awful right now. It's got some like paint chipping off of it. It's years and years old, but it's 125 millimeters. So it's a big increase from that size.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
what
that's
kind of
how
drone is that?
this is I don't know if the company's even around anymore. It's a Ladark. It used to be called like the King Ladark ET-125, I think it was. But excellent to learn on because you still have the ducks, but it can handle outside flight really well. And then I transitioned to actually a freestyle drone because when I started racing, I didn't know how to build. And when you race, you crash and you break your drone all the time. So I wanted something super durable, and I got a actual freestyle bind and fly. And I flew that for one season, and then I learned how to build, and now I'm flying these guys. So this is a 5-inch racer. We build them to be lightweight so that they can go fast. And this one has 40 LEDs on it. So it can be hard to see who's racing. So we can pick a color, and that way people can tell who's who.
Now, racing, is that normally the stretched X frame? I see that's what you have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not really sure, honestly. I forgot.
You just know what works for you, right?
Yeah, I can't remember, honestly, which one more pilots use.
Hey, John is here. Unlimited Vertigo. He said, flip the switch. I know. Deneen is here. Good to see you, Deneen. Oh, no. So I must be a really shitty pilot then. No, absolutely not. I don't believe her for 1 second, Lawrence. I really don't. She knows she's good. Hey, Waypoint New England is here too. Good to see you, Brian. All right. So where should we start? I was gonna break them in slowly to your aggressive flying. Maybe we'll show. I put together a little montage of some cinematic stuff. Do you want to start?
Yes, I don't just race. So.
She does everything. She's like the triple threat of drones. Let me show you just a few clips of different cinematic shots that she's gotten. And in the meantime, I'm going to go grab the link to her channel and put it in the chat. I'll take us out for a second here. Oh, shit. I took out the video instead of us. All right. Take two. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried when I saw you getting so close to that waterfall. I don't know that I would get that close.
Yeah, I don't have too much of a fear of water, but I have lost one drone in the ocean. So
You did. Oh,
yeah.
I was going to ask you if you've ever lost one because I've watched a few of your cinematic shots now, and I'm like, oh, she gets so close to that water. Like it looks so excellent, but I'm afraid for your drone.
Yeah, mine I was long ranging and I couldn't get back. Lost some
Ah,
video and yeah, it was rough.
ah.
Lost the GoPro, whole drone.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it happens to everyone, I think, eventually.
It does. It does. Let me say a quick hello to Brandon Beans. And oh, Duke is here. Hey, Duke, you getting ready for Drift? I think this weekend is the beginning of Drift, right? You must. He's got this truck, and I mean, he never fails to put on a show. Like if you see Duke entering the drift track, it's like time to put your drone in the air. Thank you for being here, Duke. I saw somebody. Oh, Brandon said we are all shit pilots. No, I don't think so, Brandon. I don't know. I look up to a lot when I see like really good skills.
I
Like
think some of it is just in this hobby, we're always learning, and
yes.
you never know it all. So we're all growing. And I think the ship pilot thing's just a funny joke.
Yeah, it's just a
I'll get
joke.
you a
Like
sweatshirt, Tammie.
when you're no, when you're all at world games and whatnot, I think you know you're not a ship pilot.
Oh yeah. I
Hey,
work hard. So
join me up. I'm back. How the heck is everybody? Good to see you, Brendan, and thank you so much. What was I don't know. I get lost because I'm trying to chat with you and also read the chat, but there was something else I wanted to ask you, and I saw that video. Oh, I know. I just wanted to say that when I'm watching and I see that gap under that little mini waterfall, it's just so satisfying when you go under it. Like I feel like I would chicken out. But I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I hope she gets that gap. And you went under it like 3 times. By the way, these are just clipped videos. Please go to Mako's channel and subscribe and watch the full video. And actually, she's on Instagram too, and more active on Instagram than she is on YouTube. So I think I put the link. Hey, look who got up. You want to see mom's friend? Let's look at mom's friend on TV. I think he looks at himself. I put the link to Mako's Instagram under this video description. So definitely if you're an Instagram person, follow her Instagram page as well. It's just MAKO REACTRA though, right? On Instagram. Yeah, it's pretty easy. She's pretty easy to find. So yes, I appreciate everyone's support of our guest. Looks like Lawrence already subscribed to your channel. Hey, Art is here, Arco Drone Solutions, and Mike is here, Night Train. Good to see you, Mike. All right, Easy Pup.
Water is so beautiful to fly over, though. When I race, it's very stressful and it can be very intense as well as fun. So it's nice to kind of cruise around and take it easy with the cinematic stuff. And like I was saying, water has so many different textures, so I really enjoy flying around water a lot. But someone asked if I waterproof my rigs or conformal coat my rigs, maybe. And I actually don't. I take the chance now. I feel pretty confident getting close, being close to things, having that proximity. But I guess it only takes one splash, right?
Or yeah, one splash, or it starts raining while you're, chasing a drift car. It's happened a bunch of, it seems like it always rains when we go to drift, but
I fly I will put my gates sometimes on top of snow even if I'm really desperate to fly, and if I crash I'll just get the hair dryer out and it's good as new.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The bucket of rice, any of that?
No, no. Hair dry, it's good. If it's fresh water, you're usually okay.
Oh, awesome. Hey, Herman is here, Phantom Flight 101. Oh, Dominic subscribed. Thank you, Dominic. And so did Philip. All right. Thank you, guys. Joe Merica is here. He said you're being slackers, only 8 likes so far. Thank you, Joe Merica. Oh, wait. Lauren said, I used to not waterproof my rags until the first one went down. Yeah. Lawrence is always flying along the water as well. He's like up and down the beach, like cruising. So, yeah, I don't
also
know.
don't use a smoke stopper when I build. You know, I don't follow all the best advice, but I've been doing fine. So
So far, so good, huh?
So far, so good.
Awesome. All right, let me show a little bit of chasing. You and I talked about this, how FPV, if you're going to put on the goggles, the funnest thing to do is chase, right?
Oh my
I
God.
think. Well, I don't know. You like racing. You like competing against people.
I feel like it's long. Well, there's no competition in chasing, but I feel like your lines are so important, and having to stay behind the object you're chasing. I feel like racing helps with those skills.
Definitely. All right. Let's do another little MAKO compilation of some chases. I like that wing you were chasing. That looked so awesome.
That was a really fun flight. I would love to do that again. He was doing some rolls, and I was staying with him with the rolls, so that was really fun. Wing chasing, RC car chasing is fun too.
You know, a few of the links you sent me didn't open up, and that might have been one of them. I would just like to say, like, MAKO, you're by day, when you're not being like a drone superhero, like by day, you're a school teacher, right?
Yes, very busy teaching 4th grade.
Okay. Well, look at the organization. I asked MAKO if she might have a video or two I could show.
Now I'm embarrassed.
I got a whole spreadsheet. No, this is organization. This is like really organized. It's grouped into subject matter. I mean, this is an organized person. Are your videos on your computer, is everything all organized by category and date? How do you do it?
I lose track of the files on my computers. I start well, and then something happens and it becomes a mess. They're not very organized. I tried to do it by year now, since I've been flying since at the end of 2017, I think.
Oh, is that when you started? Yeah, that was one of my questions. 2017.
Yeah. So that race car video that you were showing, that was like my 2nd year flying. So I was really nervous doing that.
And it'll really kill your batteries going after fast cars. Like those cars were fast. Yeah. So you and your husband are looking through YouTube, and you came across a steel video?
Yeah, yeah. We were
It's
watching
just like
Steele flippy flopping in an office park, and we saw that he
really.
was wearing goggles, and we're like, oh man, this is like VR. This is like video games. This is bringing everything together: RC, video games, VR, photography.
Yeah.
So all the things I love. So I had to try it.
So did you start out as a gamer?
Yep, yep. I game a little bit still, but I've been gaming since a child. Actually, my pilot handle is from a video game.
Oh, is it? Oh, so what, throw a name out there. What kind of games do you like?
I like action and RPG games. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, which is where my pilot
Yes.
handle came from. But I love
Okay.
Fallout, which they came out with that TV series, so I was super digging that. BioShock, bunch of games. I also do drone simulators, and those are sort of like games.
It looks like it. They look like a lot of fun. I remember Final Fantasy. Like I think that was one of the ones that my daughter was into early on. Like I feel like I've sat and watched a whole lot of Final Fantasy. And then she got into World of Warcraft. So that
Oh yeah.
that took on a life of its own, being into like that kind of game. But
It's funny because the
um
game pulled my name from came out in the 90s, and they just re-released it the last
oh, no
couple
kidding.
years. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Um Trying to keep up with the comments a little bit. Mark White is here. Hi there, Mark. I also saw, oh yeah, Lawrence. Lawrence is talking about throttle control in FPV. That's for sure. When you're chasing, it's all about throttle control. Um, ooh, Deneen, I just did a little RC chasing in the Adirondacks. What were you chasing? I want to know what you're chasing, Deneen.
Me too. I think I followed her on social media.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Deneen's great. Deneen's someone that I've hung out with in real life. See, which is rare because, like, we're
Yeah.
all from like everywhere. So, and you are on the East Coast, so we're in the same time zone, but you're up in
Yes.
Maine, right?
Yeah. Yep. It was a long winter. We got this crazy spring storm. I don't know if it impacted you in New York, but the snow finally just melted.
Oh, no kidding. So that's why you do a lot of indoor as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have long winters in Maine.
Yeah. We do a lot of sim racing too, besides the tiny whooping. I manage an all-female drone racing team called Mach 1. And we're
Oh,
international because, of course, there aren't a lot of female pilots. So we pull from all over the world, and we've kind of brought ourselves together and created a team. And we're competing in a league called the Drone Champions League, and we're doing that on the simulator.
so is that the team competes in simulators? That's
Yeah.
what. Okay.
Yeah, we compete against other teams around the world. So there's a team based, there's a Chinese team, there's a French team, really all over the world. And then they pull pilots from all over the world. So we're competing at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., which is
Oh,
really, really tough.
yeah.
But it's fun to be able to fly against these professional pilots all over the world. And being the first female team is pretty special.
Oh, that's really cool. So, and that's Mach 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And Mach 1 has a Facebook page, right?
Yeah, we do actually.
I
And
saw
we
that.
have freestyle pilots and racing pilots, so there's a lot of talent.
Very cool. And tell us a little bit about what am I thinking of? It's your Discord, because you have a Discord channel as well. So what's going on over there?
That one's gotten pretty quiet, but we created a new one for Mach 1, and we wanted to be more inclusive and not just have only the female pilots in there, so everyone can join that one, even, your audience can join that one. Keep up with the FPV ladies.
Very cool. So if you want to put any information in the chat on that while I am
Sure.
digging up another video. Oh, also I want to say hi to Charlie. Drone Psyche is here. Who else I see? Oh, Peter said he struggles with solitaire. Come on, Peter. um,
I
let's
tried
see.
to put the link in, but it says it failed to post.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple times. I'm not sure why.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe you can send it to me and I'll put it in the video description.
I gave it to you in the private chat.
Okay, perfect. Carolina Airshots is here. Hey there, Jeff. I Fiction is here. Hey, Dan. Let me. Oh, and I'm way behind in the chat. Sorry, guys. I am going to pull up a video. Are we going to get into it? Let's show them like what you love most of all. Should we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll introduce this with MAKO was actually interviewed for a news channel, right? Was that your local news?
Yeah, that's our local news station.
Well,
they came to my house and did the interview. It was pretty nice. She was pretty brave because she was standing out near my race gates as I was flying.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to play this where she talks a little bit about racing and you can see what's going on in her backyard. And then I'll play a little bit more of the racing videos. But yeah, that was really cool that she came right to you for an interview. All right, here it is.
Into video games.
She may look like she's comfortably playing a video game, but in fact, she's piloting a drone that can fly 90 miles an hour, maneuvering obstacles with precision.
Flying drones just gives you a perspective of the world that you can't get in any other way. Your feet are planted and you're able to fly over water, rivers, ocean, at high speeds through race gates. So you really just get to experience the world differently, and it's such an adrenaline rush to do it.
Through her goggles, Ryan sees what the drone sees. Drones like this can't be bought at the store. When her flights are grounded, usually because her batteries are dead, Ryan serves as both the pilot and the mechanic, building, repairing, and even programming all her many drones.
We have a motto in drone racing, or in drones in general: build, fly, crash, repeat. So we're always pushing ourselves to the limits, and you're going to crash or midair, and you're going to break components and have to fix your drone all the time.
You wouldn't be familiar with her pilot name,
MAKO REACTRA.
but it's a name most people in the world of competitive drone racing now know.
When we go to races now, sometimes people will ask for her autograph.
Ryan Lasardi is one of the finest pilots in the country and maybe around the world.
David Roberts has spearheaded the effort to get drone racing into the mainstream. What makes her so good?
There has to be a certain level of intelligence, being able to understand and process. There has to be an amount of time dedicated to learning how to build the aircraft, time dedicated to flying and practicing and flying more. It's one of those, like so many other things, you have to practice a heck of a lot. And she's been doing that for several years.
I definitely have sacrificed a lot, like anyone who plays a sport, and at this level, you know, you dedicate a lot of time.
In July, Ryan will represent the United States at the World Games.
This will be drone racing's first World Games.
32 pilots from 24 different countries will compete. What sets these games apart?
34 sports that are not contested in the Olympics. And each one of them are now going to be previewed by the International Olympic Committee for consideration in the Olympics.
For Ryan, the sport has opened doors she's never dreamed about, and she wants to share it with others.
I'd love to see more women fly. There's so few of us, and I want to show them, that young girls and women both, that it's not just a sport for boys and men.
It's unlikely that drone racing will become an Olympic sport anytime soon, but regardless, Ryan's just thrilled to be flying.
I think that is so cool. So I don't understand. Can you tell me about the World Games? Like, what are they? There's sports that are outside of the Olympics?
Yes. And I think all the sports have the goal of becoming an Olympic sport.
Okay.
And the Olympic Committee actually oversees the World Games. So they're watching the sports and determining which ones they want to move up to the Olympics. So the year I competed, it was the drone racing's first time ever in the World Games. So it was very exciting. And it's going to be in the next World Games too. So it's great that it's got enough support to continue. But it takes place in a different country. and it happens every 4 years, just like the Olympics. Next
Oh.
time it's in China. I was lucky that I didn't have to go far because it was in the United States when I went, which also is kind of special because home field advantage, like the crowd was just so intense and so excited for everyone. But it took place inside of a stadium, and usually I fly in the fields above grass. So we had all this metal to contend with. So crashing your drone was not forgiving. It was definitely a lot of fun, and there were probably 12 female pilots there, which is the most I've ever competed with. And there was like one woman and one male from every country.
Oh, wow. So it's funny because one of the things that struck me about the interview, they were saying that, one of the things you need is intelligence. And I've always thought that that is true. The amount of things that you need to know to be able to build a drone, like the electronics, and they're even just, soldering, battery maintenance, like programming. There's so much that goes into it. I feel like it's a sport for intelligent people, really, when it comes down to it.
I think that's why we see a lot of engineers get into the hobby.
Yeah, and it's funny, a lot of engineers and that sort of thing, but I also see a lot of people that I don't know. One of the pages I was looking at on Facebook, someone was like, "Hey, who here is like autistic or neurodivergent, or just who like." A lot of people like to get in the goggles and kind of like escape and go somewhere else, and just it kind of it's almost like therapy for some people, and just something to hyper focus on if that's what your brain needs too.
Yeah.
It's like
I know people who have talked online about how they've had addictions or like had disabilities, or I know a girl who's actually lived her life in a wheelchair and she competes. It's just, it opens so many doors to people. It's like healing. It's I know that if I'm having a bad day and I put on the goggles, it all goes away because you're just so focused on flying.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to say hi to Drone on the Bayou is here. Oh, Philip was at races at the World Games in Birmingham. Yeah, that's where you were, right? In Birmingham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot from that race, and I'm hoping they'll be able to put on a better show next time around. We got some torrential rain that really disrupted the event. We had to kind of stop flying and start early the next day, and it took down tents. So that was difficult to deal with, but I'm hoping that they learn a lot from it. They did have the racing on the big screen, but I'm hoping that in intermission, pilots can show some freestyle, maybe do some interviews on the big screen, just to kind of add to the entertainment. And we don't usually get spectators, so this was like very special to have a lot of people in the stands watching us.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like what kind of other sports were there?
Oh gosh, so it's so cool because they're just sports that you wouldn't think of. They had parkour, they had sumo wrestling, they had paragliding, disc golf, so like some pretty cool stuff.
Wow.
And then they had like baseball and softball. So,
Really? This sounds really fun.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see events, but that's okay.
God bless America's here. Hey, Ronnie. Who did I see? Oh, Tim Lockman is here. And B-Rad. Good to see you, Brad.
So with the World Games, the whole experience, my hope is it just gives exposure to drones, FPV drones, and drone racing in general.
Yeah. And I feel like drones are at Best Buy. They're also at Walmart, but you don't even know all of the possibilities for drones unless you go after them on YouTube, and then you see racing and you see freestyle and you see cinematic stuff, and maybe you see people who are using it in the industry, mapping. There's so many things, so many different directions you can go with drones. And hey, new member, Ken Torbeck. Thank you so much, Ken. I have, I'm going to have a members only video coming out, a little pre-chat with MAKO. Also, I have a video coming out, I think this weekend, about, I've talked about here on the show, but you haven't seen anything, the sidewalk that made me cry. Stay tuned. So, oh, wait. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I am trying to keep up. I'm like, who's John? It's unlimited. Okay. So, oh, yes. Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. Absolutely. Mark is over in the UK. But so the World Games are every 4 years and the next one is in China?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually in 2025. I was in the 2022 World Games, but they postponed it a year due to COVID.
Okay. Yeah. So now what is the event? You're traveling on Monday. This is so crazy to me. I'd be so nervous. I would not be able to do an interview right now. But MAKO is traveling on Monday to Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
I'm dying that you know what? I pulled a picture just so, like, Abu Dhabi is the capital of UAE and it's on an island, right? Like, this looks so sick to me. This looks crazy. This is a shitty picture off of hotels.com. But oh my gosh, what are you doing there?
It's for the Drone Champions League, which I mentioned for my team Mach 1. The Drone Champions League is having their final for the first part of the season in Abu Dhabi. And myself and another pilot on my team we're going to teach a workshop about drones and building drones. We're going to do social media and we're going to run a sim station so that the public can come up and try it. But it's a really big event. It's not just the drone event. It's also a DriftX event. So they're inviting, it's kind of like the future of smart and autonomous vehicles. They have smart taxis. They're going to have an autonomous race car race. There's autonomous boats. So we're going to see a lot of cool tech that's sort of like bringing sci-fi to the future.
Wow. That sounds pretty awesome. I want to show, I think that these were shorts that you put out, but I want to show a couple of shorts of MAKO practicing in her backyard. She's got these gates up. This stuff is nuts. The first one is where you're doing the 6-gate corkscrew.
That's my favorite element. So I took every gate I had pretty much and like lined them up.
So the first run, I think I clipped it too short. You hit 3 gates, you go around, but then the second run, you have to see her do 6 gates, count them. It's crazy. And then the second one is the tunnel you made. I love this stuff in the backyard. This is so fun. This looks like a trip. Does your husband do this stuff with you?
Yeah, a little bit. We built all those gates out of PVC pipes and, just hammer the rebar in the ground.
All right, let me show this. This is practice.
I just flew a 6-gate corkscrew. Check out this tunnel.
Before
Oops.
drones, I was really into video
Sorry.
games.
She made
I'm
a
trying
look.
to remove. Ice, you're in my way, buddy. He came up
Yeah.
here and started purring and got all fur up my nose, but he usually stays away when I'm on stream. He never wants to be on camera, and today he's like up here purring at me. Sorry, Key. It looks like so much fun, but the fact that you're going so fast through those gates, like the precision, the accuracy, like when I see that, I'm just so amazed.
I'm not gonna lie, I have hit my house before.
Have you broken a window?
No, but I did hit a window once and I was freaking out thinking I did break it. And I didn't, thankfully.
So when I watch that, I'm thinking, all right, obviously it takes time to become good at FPV. And now I'm thinking additional time to have that. I don't know that timing and that accuracy. Like, I don't know how you do that so fast.
It just
Is it
becomes muscle memory, I think, once you fly a track enough.
All
That
right.
plays a part.
Is it your gaming background coming back to, because aren't there some of
Maybe.
the same things, like you've got to react quickly, and I don't know.
I mean, I practice a lot. I practice in my yard and I practice in fields and I also fly on the simulator. So it definitely is a lot of stick time that has gotten me where I am today. But maybe there's some natural talent there because my dad, who's no longer with us, but he was in aviation. He was a mechanic for the SR-71. So I feel like I have a little bit of that maybe in my blood.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking at all the comments. Everybody is amazed by your flying.
Oh, thank you.
I tried to fly around a tomato plant and crashed.
I crashed. Believe me, I crashed. One time I crashed into a police officer's boot.
Really?
Yeah, we were racing at a venue and we were having a drag race, which was really cool. Just going as fast as you can down and as fast as you can back. And they were like, Mako, you should go first. And the police officer was standing behind the net and the net did not stop my drone. I went through the net, even though I disarmed, I stopped flying. So it tumbled and it hit him in the boot, but he was really, really good about it. He was worried that he broke my drone, but I was like, no, the pavement probably did that.
Oh, that's good. Have you ever come across people who don't like drones? Have you ever come across like the Karens or the Kyles? Is that the male alternative?
I think it's Kyle.
Have you run into that?
A little bit, yeah. It's often, it depends on where you fly. In my hometown, people are great because, it's kind of a hick town. People have four-wheelers and dirt bikes. And so I think we all just like love that kind of stuff. But if I go somewhere where that's not really what people are into in that area, they'll say something. We had one woman come over and we weren't even flying over the field and the field was massive and she was way on the other end, but she was stomping over. We saw her coming and we had people watching the person flying. So we had visual observers. We were doing all the right stuff. And she had to come and tell us that we shouldn't be there. But then her dog was like jumping all over us. We're like, well, your dog is worse than our drones, right?
Right.
So, but you get it all the time. And if she had called the cops, we would have been fine. So it didn't matter.
But it's like,
they're just uneducated and they think maybe, when people hear drones in the public, a lot of times they think negative stuff like military drones or they're spying on me, I don't have my privacy. But I think just getting drones out there more and educating people will have fewer Kyles and Karens.
Someone said Karens and Kevins.
Oh, and someone said Darren.
Karen and Darren. I don't know. Would love seeing the guy's face that talk crap about female pilots. Oh, right. In that FPV Facebook group. Yeah. Mako caught that episode when we had our panel. And there were a lot of really but I mean, some people said that maybe guys were just, doing that trash talk thing that guys do, and they probably don't mean it. They just think they're being funny, maybe. Darren sounds like he hates drones. He probably does, Brandon. Joe has experience with the Darrens. Yeah. Yeah. I think, hasn't everyone been yelled at least once? Maine is lots of countryside. Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Maine has like so much to offer with mountains, rivers, marshes, beaches. Great place to fly.
I might have a trip planned. My mother is trying to get me to go. She likes to go on birding trips. She's into birding and photography. Nice. God, I still have cat fur on my face.
I can't see it.
So my stepdad doesn't want to go. So she's asked me to go, and I guess I just have to check in with work and make sure they're cool with it. But where in Maine is it? It's in Maine. She wants to go see puffins.
Oh.
Is it Booth Bay Harbor?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's
probably an hour and a half from me, maybe.
I'm looking to see if I have it written down somewhere.
That would
Booth Bay Harbor.
Yeah.
That's where she wants to go. I think that's
a beautiful area.
Is it? I'm excited. I definitely need to have my my fleet ready to fly because she'll be birding. I'm going to be flying for sure.
That's funny. My mother-in-law birds too. It's just like a thing.
Oh, really?
Maybe we should get together and bird together when you come to Maine.
Bird
and fly.
I would love that. My mother, I don't know, at some point in time when she stopped working, she just kind of like, she didn't know what to do with herself. And I was like, you need to find people that are into what you're into. You're into photography, you like watching birds. I'm like, there must be a group. Yeah. So sure enough, she did it. She found groups for both. And she's got her photography club. She got her birding club. But her birding club takes a lot of trips. She goes all over with the birders. But awesome. Yeah. Booth Bay Harbor is coming up in June, I think mid-June. So
good time to go.
Yeah.
Good weather.
Oh, yeah, right? No snow. Hey, Johnny Drone Flyer is here. Good to see you, Johnny.
Now someone says Trent. Kyle, Trent, Darren.
Trent is the male Karen. Oh. Huh. Trent, he actually also sounds like he doesn't like drones. All right, let me see if I have another video. Oh, you know what? Let me see what I pulled. In my video file, I have a little bit of opening ceremonies for World Games. Should I show that one?
Sure.
That just looks like a lot of fun. So that's you and your husband showing up in Birmingham, Alabama, right?
Yep, they have an opening ceremonies like the Olympics, and they had performers. And like I said, it was extra special because it was in my home country. So everyone was just so jazzed up about Team USA, and we all got to walk out together, and all the countries were together and wearing their uniforms and holding their flags, and they would play the national anthem. So it was pretty
and
exciting.
This was a huge event, right? World Games are a very big event.
Yeah, I had no idea. I had never heard of it before. So
I'm so curious now. I'm going to like research all the other sports that go on there. It sounds like a lot of fun. But wait, let's check out opening ceremonies.
So we go. Opening ceremony.
Drone show.
That was pretty cool. The dancing was hilarious. One of these guys has to be a parkour athlete.
Drone show. I love that. That looks like an amazingly good time. And I mean, that is a huge stadium full of people.
And that's the stadium I raced in. So when they cleared everything out, cleaned it all up, we set up the drone track.
Wow. So you raced in full of a stadium full of people?
No, there was a section where the spectators were, but actual race gates were in the stands. So we had to fly up into the stands through gates.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty unique. Like, I'm used to just all the gates being on the ground.
Yeah. So it's pretty challenging.
Yeah, the gates were gray in color, and the metal was all similar to that color. So I wish they had made the gates a little brighter, a little bit easier to see, because we fly analog racing.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little interference with the metal, but it actually wasn't bad at all.
I'm looking at the chat and people are still talking about like who the male Karen is. But then Philip said, Muffy, can you be a darling and fetch the drone? Let me see. All right, I'm pretty caught up. Yes, breakdancing is so 80s, but I love that. That looked like such a good time.
Yeah, they were having a blast. Like I said, I think the one that was on his hand and kicking up, he had to be a parkour athlete.
I want to see World Games parkour.
Yeah, me too. I wish
that sounds crazy. Are we going to look that up on YouTube later on?
I think so.
I think we are. All right. Maybe we can wind down just a little bit with, I pulled a couple of other videos. There's one where you're chasing an RC boat.
Oh, yeah.
And I love this video because like you're chasing a boat, right? RC boat, but it's also so cinematic. Like I thought this was a beautiful video that also has a chase in it. It wasn't like
and my husband's driving the boat. Usually I chase my husband, like he'll be flying the drone, he'll be driving the boat or the RC car.
Yeah, this is a beautiful, and is there a vacation house that you go to at Deer Isle, or is this like?
Yeah, this is a vacation house that my husband's parents will rent once a summer, and we like to go up there and spend time with them at the house, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's not really too far from Booth Bay, so you're gonna get some of that scene where you go.
Oh, okay, because this is such a gorgeous spot. I'm so jealous of this spot. And you know what? I'm glad that it's not like your house where you actually live, because I would say, I'm coming up, Mako. Like,
I don't blame you.
Crash on your house. This is such a gorgeous spot. So yeah, here is the one with the boat. I thought this video was beautiful. My apologies for switching out all of your music to make it copyright free. Please, everyone, go to Mako's channel and subscribe and check out her videos for real. The quality is better. The music is her choice of music, and she's got some beautiful stuff and some crazy ass racing. There's like a little bit of everything. But yeah, here's the boat chase. Wasn't that a beautiful video, you guys? I love this spot. I love the way you chase that boat. Like, you made a chase look so beautiful.
Thank you.
I thought it was just like the way you came around. Everything was just so smooth and so pretty. What is your favorite thing to chase, do you think?
Oh gosh. I think my favorite chase was that plane, that wing. I would love to do that again. Boats are fun too, though. That boat's a lot of fun.
It
It's
looks pretty
fast.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets going so fast it will go bam, bam, bam on the water. So it's
Oh
really
my-
easy.
I'm
And you have to
putting
watch
more.
for the wake. You have to watch for the water coming up too.
Oh, see, and you're not even conformal coded.
No.
So.
Probably
I
should
put
have
Mako's
admitted
link in the chat again. Ronnie asked, whose video is this? I'm featuring Mako tonight. Let me point in the right direction. So yeah, this is all her stuff that I'm playing. Oh, and he asked if I could post the link. I didn't see that, but I did. I did. Her link is in the chat. It's MAKO REACTRA.
I have a few videos from Deer Isle on there, compilation videos of going to different spots in that area. And they're so beautiful. So if you watch any videos, I love those.
And I think I pulled one. I usually try to keep videos to like around 2 minutes. So I did pull one from Deer Isle, and I trimmed it down a little bit to give everybody a preview, because everyone's going to go and watch and subscribe. And what's the other thing they say? Leave a genuine comment on a video. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a big YouTuber, honestly, so I have no idea.
So you're not as into YouTube as you are with Instagram, right?
Yeah, YouTube is very time consuming, and I teach, so I try to keep things short and sweet. That's why if you want the most up-to-date stuff, you want to follow me on Instagram.
So is it just quicker to post on Instagram?
Yeah, I don't have time to make full edits. So I keep them to like a minute.
Brian said, love the name Mako. She was telling us earlier that is from a video game.
Yeah, MAKO REACTRA is from Final Fantasy VII. There was a MAKO reactor that you blow up in the beginning of the game. So I feminized that a little bit.
Oh, it was a reactor. Oh, okay. Well, Mako, I think of the shark, right?
Yes. Had nothing to do with the shark.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being like vicious or something.
Or fast.
The shark's fast. Although I think Makos are actually gentle, right?
I have no idea.
You too, Deneen? You're an Instagram girl? See, I was over there more when I did more photography, and when I got into making videos more, I found I was on YouTube all the time, and I kind of dropped my Instagram. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to get back to taking pictures though. Like, I do enjoy photography, but really my camera is like dusty on the shelf. I really only use the drones these days. I saw you said in one of the interviews, to get more people, to get more women into drones, like maybe we could pull some photographers over. And really that's what made me want to be more serious about it, is because I was a photographer and we had gotten drones and we were just kind of playing with them, and they had these little shit cameras on them. But I thought, this would be really cool if I could get good at this and take aerial photos. Like, the idea of that made me want to learn how to better control the drone so that I could take pictures. Of course, we were still flying toys at that point, so it wouldn't come until, a few years later or a year later, I think, is when we discovered DJI and got like an actual good quality camera drone. But it was the photography that made me want to get into it.
I think DJI, a lot of people can shit on them. I think some people in the FPV community do. I don't, because I see them as pulling over these aerial photography pilots with the Avata. Like, so many people are getting more into FPV. So I love that.
A lot of people in our group here either started with the DJI FPV, me being one of them. Like, that's when I really got the goggles on and really got into it. And the people who didn't pick up that drone picked up the Avata and got into flying with the goggles. So now there are a lot of people flying with goggles. And actually, here he is. Joe Fodolio had the DJI FPV drone, and now he's Mr. Carbon. You know, he graduated
Nice.
from the glass drone over to like carbon drones. So
He should check out the video from Rotor Riot if you're familiar with Rotor Riot. They had me race one of those DJI FPV drones, and it did not go well, as you imagine. One hit and that thing just boom. So we broke 2 in one day. I do not recommend racing it, but it's kind of entertaining to watch.
yeah. So you were doing gates with it?
Yeah, I went down to Florida and they were filming some episodes, and they wanted to have a racer on there, and they were excited to get a female on there. So they're like, take this DJI FPV drone and we'll set up some gates and we'll race it. And you can fly with somebody and try to teach them with the FPV drone. That's not a good drone to learn on, that's for sure. But
Wow.
like I said, it's kind of entertaining to watch.
I feel like I feel like it. I don't feel like it would be precise enough for racing,
No.
right? Like,
So big and heavy too.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like a racer to me. I do enjoy. Like, I know people that have both the Avata and the DJI FPV, and they enjoy that the FPV is a faster drone. So, I mean, I think it has its uses. I wouldn't consider one of its uses to be racing through gates. Like, I don't think I would.
Not unless you have a big pocketbook.
Instagram isn't just for photographs anymore. I put plenty of videos up there. Yeah, you know what? Everybody's getting more into videos. Even on Facebook now, you see what is it called on Facebook? Reels? Is that where Reels are? I don't know. I see all of the platforms are getting more into video now.
Yeah. And shorter videos.
Oh, Joel stopped by, Mr. Skyfly. Oh, quick hello. 4 a.m. comes early. Thanks for stopping by, Joel. Oh, yeah. Reels videos. Oh, is Reels Instagram? Maybe it's called something else.
I think it is Reels for Instagram.
Oh, Joe said the DJI FPV is great to learn on. Just stay up high and then graduate. Oh, Reels and Stories. Thank you. I think
Stories. Yeah.
Stories. Right. Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's funny. I think because when I was learning, there was a thing that the DJI FPV does. It's like you're going slow and you're drifting along, but if it thinks you're stopping, it goes like and just stops. And it's so sudden. And so I was trying to cut all of those out. Like, I don't know, I just kind of got more into editing than so I enjoy YouTube. Like, I enjoy editing a video for YouTube. So I like that part of it. I don't know. I haven't really gotten into like shorts that much, or stories or reels. Like, I like to actually make the long video with the cuts and the music and whatever. And and I've actually been working on a new intro video for my stream where I'm trying some just like different editing stuff. So hopefully I'll be done with that next week, because I'm pretty excited about it. Because you're in normal mode. Oh, that's true. There is a lot more control if you're in acro than if you're in like normal or sport. Because Obviously, I've seen things done with that drone that people can't believe it's being done with the DJI FPV drone, but oh, thank you, Johnny. Johnny just subbed. All right, let's play a little bit of the Deer Isle video. Again, this is a shortened version. It's a different music. Go to her channel and see the real one. I'm going to put it in the chat again. But again, this is just a little peek at some of Mako's cinematic stuff at a really beautiful vacation spot. Really beautiful. I want to go here. But I guess I'm kind of going close, huh? Now I'm excited.
Sure.
That was such beautiful footage. I love watching that. And I love the way you are just a little bit risky with your cinematic. Like you're low along the water, you're skimming the trees. I love all of that.
That one shot under the bridge with the rushing water was pretty hard to get because it was so windy. And my GoPro kept freezing, so I had to do it over and over again. I'm like, just get the shot.
That was the scariest shot, actually. Like the bridge, to do that in the wind, like I don't think I would.
I had to, though. I was like, this is amazing. I have to do it.
You have to. Yeah, you have to.
But the sunrises and the sunsets there, when you go to Booth Bay, like it's the most beautiful. I mean, we get in the United States, Maine is the first to see the sunrise. Like if you go farthest east,
that's right. That's right. Isn't what is it? Cadillac Mountain sees it first, right?
Lubec, Maine. It's they have a beautiful lighthouse there.
Lubec all the way up, right? Yeah. I did a Maine road trip a long time ago. I went up to Moosehead Lake.
Yeah.
And then out, just directly out to the coast. And then I just worked my way down, camping and whatnot. And yeah, it's beautiful. And I don't think I've been back since then. And that was a very long time ago. Geez, my daughter was young. I almost hit a moose. I mean, it was quite a trip.
Yeah. You get the full experience then.
I really did. I really did. Hey, Roger's here. Technique, good to see you. Peter said, great video. Nice. Beautiful. And my style. Great job. So,
Do you like lobster?
love it.
Okay, good.
I love seafood. I like when I was a kid, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that we had like steak and lobster type budget, not really, but we did a lot of fishing and we ate what we caught. I always loved fish. Like I would have seafood a few times a week. I have no problem with that. Oh, I had a question on the tip of my brain. I think I wanted to go back to like your start in drones because we started to talk about you and your husband saw some videos. You're like, we want to do that. You started with whoops.
Yeah, we started racing in a hobby shop, and then we started running the races there. And then the snow melted and we were outside flying. Like I said, I taught myself acro because I was flying whoops in angle mode.
Right.
Yeah, so I used the bigger whoop for that. And I'm a part of Multi-GP, which is kind of our grassroots drone racing league. And it's really the biggest drone racing league in the world. And there are chapters all over the country. So if you're interested in getting into drone racing, you can go to their site and like find a local chapter, and there'll be a lot of people there that fly. And even if you're not into racing, it's a great way to find other people who do fly, because a lot of racers will also do freestyle too. So if you're looking for pilots, you can always check out their site.
That's good advice for anyone. I know there are people that come to the show who don't have anyone to fly with. And I mean, you know, flying is its own thing. Like I have no problem going and flying by myself and enjoying myself, but I feel like it is also fun to meet up with other pilots, and not everyone knows how to find pilots in their area. So that's a good suggestion, because I know there are chapters all over. I have been on that website. I know around here, the Multi-GP, I think the chapters were a little bit north of us. Actually, someone that comes in this chat is part of it, big part of it. Oh, Steady Eddie.
Oh yeah, I know Steady Eddie.
I
met him.
You met him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Steady Eddie FPV. I know that he talks about like whoop racing and stuff. So, so how do you meet Steady Eddie? He's a New York guy.
I think he's come to some of our races.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I met him.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a race actually in New York not that long ago. I wasn't able to go because I had another race that weekend, but it was a pretty big race. It was like the We Bleed Northeast Championship. So all the Whoop pilots from the Northeast, you know, the ones that wanted to attend, went and competed.
That's cool. So there is some travel. It's like being on a travel team.
If you want to go to the bigger races, yeah, you have to do some traveling.
Okay. That's fun though. You get to meet people. Janine enjoys both alone and with others, unless they talk way too much.
It's relaxing to fly. Yeah. So I get why you'd want to fly alone a lot. I do too.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with photography. Like if I wanted to go out and take pictures and, you know, I'm going to say hike and take pictures. Like if I'm with other people, I feel like I'm holding them back because, you know, 10 steps and now I want to take a picture of, you know, this flower or this rock. I don't know. And I've got to take 20 to make sure I get the right angle, you know, so I feel like I'm annoying if I'm taking pictures. And maybe Well, see, Deneen came out with me flying drones. We went out in the fall and we were getting fall foliage, and I think she liked my method of flying, which was go to a spot, fly a battery, go to the next spot, fly another battery, go to the next spot. I had like 8 spots in mind for that day. I think we hit 6 of them. Like we did
That's
pretty
good.
well. We were all over the place. But yeah, I like to come home with lots of different footage, not just like from all one spot. Hey, JDS, how did you get here and you're first? He's always first. Yes. Rip and dip. Exactly, Deneen. Poor Deneen. She lives like what, Deneen, like an hour and a half away. And like we flew all day long. It was dark. It was nighttime. It's like, okay, we should probably go home. It's just an hour and a half to drive. But she's a trooper. She goes all over. I wouldn't be surprised. Deneen, when's the last time you were in Maine? I'm sure she's been there. She'll just drive somewhere and sleep in the car. I know she went to New Hampshire or Vermont or something recently. Yeah, except that she had 2 drones, so she had to fly 2 batteries everywhere we went. That's why we didn't get all 8 spots, Deneen. So if it's the weekend and you're looking forward to the weekend, there's going to be nice weather. What are you doing? Are you practicing your gates? Are you doing something cinematic? Do you freestyle? What's on the agenda for a nice weekend?
Mostly race gates, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't do too much freestyling, but once in a while I do. I actually shocked myself. I had a 1S. I wish I had it close by. And I did what is it called? Oh gosh. Now I'm going to forget the name of the trick. Oh, Maddie flip. I did my first Maddie flip.
You did.
The 1S. And I was like, wow, maybe I should freestyle more. I wish I had time to do both, but I feel like I really have to put that time and effort into racing.
Yeah, it's hard. It's that, hobbies, I feel like if you really want to get into them, they could take up all your time,
Yeah.
and even just drones, like we've been saying, there's so many different directions you can go. So even just to be a racer and a freestyle person would just be too much time.
But when the summer hits, I am off for like a couple months. So I do try to get a little bit of freestyle in during the summer.
And you probably have to when you go to the vacation house, right?
Yes,
like you don't travel with your gates and stuff.
Yeah,
right? No. So that's when you have to put a cinematic video together.
And if it's chasing, I'll do it any day. So
yeah. I bet there's a drift track by you. They're everywhere. You should find one. You'd love doing that.
Yeah.
A whole schedule of, chase and drift cars, especially over the summer. I'm sure there's something going on when you're off from teaching. Yeah. So let me see. I may have played all the video that I pulled. Let me see if I have anything else. Does anyone in the chat have any questions for MAKO? Yeah, I think I played everything. Like I was thinking, like, let's say someone wanted to get into racing. Where should they start? Should they find a multi?
Yeah, go to MultiGP and find a chapter to find others who fly. Because you could just go to a race, and that's what I did my first time. I went to a race and just spectated because I wanted to kind of see what it was like. And then, you talk to the pilots and they let you use your gear and try it out for yourself a lot of times. So I would recommend starting there, but getting a simulator is really helpful because it can be expensive, drone racing. Like I said, you're crashing a lot and having to buy parts and repair your drones. So in a simulator, you don't have to worry about that. You crash and you just hit reset. You don't even have to do the walk of shame to go get your drone.
Right.
So it's a great way to see if you want to race too. See if it's something you're interested in. Is doing both those things. Go and spectate a race and get a simulator. Other than that, I would say tiny whooping too, because if you want to actually get in the air with a drone, that's a great starter. And I think you used the same thing I used when we started. You got like little Amazon drones.
They're little
Yeah, they don't
tiny
even have cameras on them. They're like toys, like just to learn the
Oh,
controls.
when we first started
Yeah.
flying, yeah. Well, we got stuff off the internet, and it was cheaper if you get it straight from China without the camera. It was a $40 drone. Actually, it's well, it's with the remote right here, but there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
white one behind this remote in it. I mean, the cheapest toy ever, but I feel like you learn how to fly
Mhm.
because you have to control it the whole time. You have to compensate for the slightest breeze, you know, and it's like off track, you know. You really you learn the controls. Like I do believe in starting with toys, but
Yeah, I'm working with kids because I'm a teacher, and I actually got a grant and bought some drones with the grant, and I'm teaching my students to fly. And the first thing I did was go to Amazon and order those cheap $25 ones without a camera because they just needed to learn what yaw was, what pitch was. Like
right.
they don't know those things, even though they have the video gaming background. So starting with that, and then got them whoops next, and then they were able to fly those with the goggles. So hopefully we'll do some talent show acts with them and see if we can get some other people interested in it.
You're the fun teacher, right? You're the fun
There are
teacher
two
at
fourth
school.
grade teachers, and I think we're both a lot of fun. The other teacher's a male, and they get excited to get him because there's not a lot of male teachers in our school, so they always want him. But then they're like torn because they're like, well, she does drones, and they can't decide.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Deneen said she did not the walk of shame, the
The
run
run
of
of
shame, because she clipped a drift
Oh
car
no!
and her drone was out on the track.
Oh gosh!
Out there making memories, Deneen. You know, you got to land on the track at least once. Hey there, Lance. Lance is here.
I was
Oh,
thinking some of the training I do to get better though is I like to set up certain elements. And we fly something called a global qualifier, which ranks us internationally. So all the chapters will measure out specifically a track and submit it to multi-GP. And then the timing system will collect our lap times. And they take the top 3 consecutive laps and it gets put on a leaderboard. And that leaderboard determines whether or not you're able to go to multi-GP champs and compete.
oh, wow.
So we set up that qualifier a few times a season to get some times in. And it's really cool because you can see how you rank with other pro pilots in the world.
Which is great for someone like you who's so competitive, right? Where does the competitive streak come from, Mako? Where does that come from? Were you a competitive kid?
Yeah, probably my brother.
I was going to ask, did you grow up with brothers?
I have one brother. It's probably
Yeah, you do. Older or younger?
He's younger. He kind of followed me around and did whatever I did, though.
But you had to make sure you beat him.
Stay in
You had to
line.
be better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's funny. No, I was going to ask if you had brothers or like, you know, because I feel like you said you started drones 2017.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it wasn't necessarily well, it wasn't even a popular sport yet at that time. So, you know, I think women getting into it, especially back then, I mean, you're a bit of an outlier, right? As far as taking interest in it and going for it like that.
Yeah, they have a name for it. Unicorns is what they call it. They call female FPV pilots unicorns because there's not many of us. But I see more and more every day.
Yeah, and I think having any kind of exposure, like at the school level, like that is really great just to, you know, start to get kids into it. Oh,
My best 2 pilots are girls too.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you teach the 4th grade, do you teach all the subjects?
Yes.
At that level? Yeah.
Yes, it's very time consuming. My favorite subject to teach is math.
Oh yeah? You like teaching math?
Yeah, and writing. Writing's pretty fun to teach too.
Oh, that's cool. Now, what simulator would you recommend? I know there's a few of them out there.
It depends on what you're looking for. If it's freestyle, I wouldn't choose these. I'm going to give you some racing simulators. Velocidrone is probably the one that feels the best as far as physics is concerned.
For
And
racing.
I would say that's where you're going to find all the best racers is on Velocidrone. I mean, obviously anyone can fly, but that's where you're going to see the pro pilots because that's the one that has the best physics. But there's DRL Sim that has a lot of racing going on if you're interested in the bigger drones. And then I fly on DCL the game, and that is actually my favorite sim. And we fly larger drones on that too. I love DCL the game because it's sort of like a video game, which is why I think they named it that.
Yeah.
You're flying all over the world. Their tracks are based on real life locations, and DCL used to do real life racing, and they're kind of pushing back towards that now. So some of the tracks were actually flown in real life in these locations. There's China tracks, there's Austria.
Oh, that's so cool.
There's a track in the United States where you scale a skyscraper. So it's definitely, they're unique tracks that you don't really get in some of the other sims. So I enjoy that. And then there's team racing on there too. And I'm on Mach 1, and we do a lot of team racing in that sim.
Now, when Mach 1 competes, like, is there a schedule of matchups and stuff? Like, do you have a whole season of racing?
It actually is recorded. So the final that I'm going to next week, we just did 1 day of recording for the whole season, that whole season.
Oh, wow.
So that's why we're up at like 1 a.m. and we're flying until maybe 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
I would say it's 6 hours long. And we race against every team, and we do 3 races per team. And they probably take like 2 or 3 minutes each race.
Mm-hmm.
And they award points based upon how you do in those 3 matches.
So you do one long marathon of racing.
And then so they pre-record it, and then they'll air little races here and there throughout the season.
Where can you see that?
Usually on YouTube and Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah, if you follow Drone Champions League. And it's funny, they give you don't get the tracks ahead of time. You get the tracks the day of the race, and you get about 30 minutes to practice and learn them. So that's quite challenging, and it definitely gives you a little bit of anxiety because, like, when we're flying multi-GP global qualifiers, we can practice that and fly it on sim before we put in a time. This is very, very real. Like, here's your track, learn it and fly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how it would be if you showed up to a track, right? 100%. For a race.
Yep.
You didn't get to practice beforehand. Here it is. So that's pretty cool. Someone said, Deneen said she wishes that you were her teacher back then. And Ronnie said if you were his teacher, he'd fail on purpose.
That's hilarious.
So, okay, so simulators. So that's interesting because, see, this is the thing. Like, everyone asks me why I'm not flying in acro, and I feel like part of it is the time that I'd have to put into it to learn, and I feel like I haven't had that time yet. I don't know. Like, I feel like I wouldn't want to go out and like, oh, okay, I think I know what I'm doing, then go out and like break it. I flew a simulator once or twice. I feel like I was getting the feel for it, like I feel like I was enjoying it and I was getting the feel for it. And I thought it kind of like made sense in my head. And once I was in acro by mistake.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, I thought I was in angle mode and I took off and I'm like, why is it acting funny? Why is it acting funny? Like, I got all nervous. I didn't realize I was in acro, but like, I feel like I could pick it up. I feel like I need to be like, okay, this week I'm practicing on the sim, or next 2 weeks I'm practicing on the sim, and then I'm going to go out and, like Joe is saying, put it all the way up high and then start, but I feel like I would need to dedicate some time to it. And maybe that's why I haven't as of yet. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm always
I'm sure if you dedicated the time, you'd be getting it. And I think, like I said, get something like this. It's big and it's a whoop still. So it's a nice transition to acro.
Oh, Deneen wants to learn acro too. You know, for some reason, Deneen, I thought you already tried it. Maybe Deneen and I are going to have to learn.
There, yeah. Motivate each other.
Are you getting the Avada too, Deneen? That's not in my budget right now. Actually, I don't have my DJI FPV is not good. It's right here. It's on the shelf. I've been looking at my footage and it's crap. And I thought that it was because of the props, but it's not. I was looking the other night. I was going back. And I think it goes back to when I crashed on the motocross track. I threw something off there because after that, everything is just a little bit jello-y. But I've had it for several years now. I feel like it's time to maybe replace it, but I don't know. Actually, I haven't had that for several years. That's my second one. The first one already retired. That's the second one. I don't know, but the footage is jello, and that makes me not want to fly it because I like to get. Yeah, that's right. Let me tell you something, Dominic. It might be time for a new drone. I just I don't know how to do that. I've got too many household expenses at the moment. Oh, see, you're just in sport. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Oh shoot, you got the Avada too.
Ooh.
I didn't. Someone in the chat earlier said that they feel like it breaks easier. Like I thought that Avada was a little tougher than the DJI FPV, but I don't know about this Avada too. Who's crashed into a tree? Who broke theirs? Anybody? I know a bunch of people got it when it came out. Yeah, I don't think it's in my budget for now, but see, you fly the traditional FPV drone. You're analog?
Yep, I do have DJI goggles, like the original DJI goggles, and I have this drone in digital. So this is one that I flew in some of those videos. It's got Cinewhoop motors on it, so it's really smooth flying.
Okay.
Like what I mean by Cinewhoop, for anyone that doesn't know, that's a Cinewhoop. So this one's in digital, but racing, I definitely fly acro. However, I did purchase a pair of HD0 goggles, and a lot of racers are shifting to HD0. So I'm thinking I might be going digital really soon.
Okay.
Which will be great for racing because analog,
yeah,
it's nice, but like racing, I'll be able to see the gates so much better.
The clear picture, and also I feel like with digital, you're not as worried about other people knocking you out of the air. So that's always a consideration, especially when you have a group, you know. We were at a meetup last summer, and it's kind of like, everyone we were making fun of all the things that, people were shouting out during, it's like, we're okay, everybody, we're doing this activity, we're doing that activity. And then someone would drop, it's like, who turned on? Like it was like,
that was number one rule, don't plug in.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's another benefit of digital for sure.
Yeah, that's so important. Racing, you can't have somebody plug in during a race.
Yeah.
You have to rerun the race.
What is it? Oh, the cat's running around here saying something. Hey, Danish Stallion's here. Good to see you, Danish.
Oh, yeah.
And
hey, Danish Stallion.
Kariko is here. Thank you for stopping in. She said, excellent discussion. Oh, you like the motion controller?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, Deneen, who are you? Really? I mean, a lot of people do like the motion controller, and I've heard that this one is maybe better, but it's also smaller. So I think some people like their hand isn't necessarily fitting with this. Oh, thank you, Ronnie. Ronnie said, awesome show tonight. Nice meeting Mako. I know you've all already subbed to her, but don't forget to pop over to Instagram as well and follow her on Instagram, because she's much busier over there. You'll see more of what's going on in the world of Mako. So your racing team, Mach 1. How many female pilots do you have?
Well, for our DCL team, Drone Champions League, we have 8 pilots, including myself. I manage the team, but also fly. But the full team is like 20, 25 people all over the world on pretty much every continent.
Wow. So as far as like who gets together for your races, is that the smaller group?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then what's everyone up to?
Oh gosh, people are up to so many things. We have some really cool freestyle pilots. We just had a freestyle competition actually. And we'll be doing another one of those, head by Zoe FPV. Some people might know her. She's a big 3D pilot.
Yeah.
So she flies upside down, right side up. Like you can't even tell which direction she's going, flying 3D. And she released this new stop sign video that you've got to check out, where she like lands on the stop sign and then like twists around, which you can only like do with 3D flying. But we had a competition and we got a lot of pilots involved and brought the community together, had some community judges. But we have some pilots, like we have one girl in Lithuania who races and freestyles, and she flies near these really cool abandoned structures all the time. We have someone in Japan who's flying really big drones and doing some like professional filming. Lots of racers, of course. You can find Mai on High. She's another big pilot. She actually races Airspeeder. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Those are like flying cars. She's not in them yet. She's flying them like they're unmanned. So there's just so many people on the team that have kind of different niche things that they do with drones that you have to just go and check them all out. So follow Mach 1's page, and then you can kind of see who's on the team and check them all out.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if anybody wants to come on the Tammie Jean stream.
Oh, and you had Kimberly on the show. She's on Mach 1, and she's an incredible builder. That's her niche right there. She makes the most beautiful quads, all color schemed out.
Yeah,
you gotta check those out.
Beautiful. She does beautiful work. So Joe said the Motion 3 is much better. Really? I feel like in trying to become I'm not even going to say good, in trying to become a decent pilot, I feel like one of the things you need is like muscle memory, right? You need to not be thinking about like this hand does yaw and this hand does roll. Like you have to start to, just become natural at these things. And I've always felt like to switch over to the motion controller is like to start learning to fly in a whole different way. And I don't know that I even want to learn that way. I feel like I want to keep doing what I've been trying to learn instead of, I don't feel like I'm so good and so bored with this already that I want to switch over to, I don't know, but people seem to love it. So maybe I'm talking shit about something I know nothing about. I don't know. Danish posted Zoe's video. Awesome. I'm definitely.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I don't know how to describe 3D flying. It's just, it's like another planet for me.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing about it too, is that there's so many different kinds of drones. There's so many different ways of flying them. There's different uses for them. Hey, Tony's here, Quadcopters and Tech. He said, I'm a chicken. Well, I don't know. Like, really, I do feel like so far it's like a time thing. Also, a little bit of a chicken because when I had, this was my plan because I had the DJI FPV and then I had a backup DJI FPV. I'm like, well, that's it. Now I have a backup. but then one is broken. So there went that. Then I'm like back to one drone and I didn't want to kill it. So yeah, partially correct, Tony. Partially correct. Oh, so it was easy with the motion controller. I don't know. Be the drone, use the force. The peer pressure is going to get me. Well, you know, I think for what I like to do, for the footage that I like to get, like, I don't think it's absolutely necessary. However, I feel like I would like to learn it and experience it and see if I actually might prefer it, you know? Like, I could sit here and say that, you know, I don't need that, but maybe it opens up a whole new world to me when I fly acro, and I love it, and so that's why I do need to try it.
I think
But,
someone said it. They said, go high, just go up high.
yeah,
Higher.
yeah.
Do a couple flips.
But you know what happens to the DJI FPV if I mess up?
That's why I said you can't use that. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that will get rid of your fear of breaking it. You've got to find something else. Like, I want to send you this thing.
That's what someone else said too. Oh, I think it was Dave, Fly High FPV. In one of the streams, he said that is why the DJI FPV is no good, because if it makes you afraid to crash, then you're not flying like you should be flying. So, but I think it was an excellent drone to learn, like, just when I first put on the goggles, I felt like I didn't have depth perception. I felt like I don't know how close I am to the ground right now. Like, I really felt like I was lost a little bit. So just getting used to goggles took me a little bit, and then I loved it. And then I don't want to fly anything other than goggles. Like, I just want goggles. I don't like looking into the screen. Yeah. I have the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which I'm loving. I'm loving the footage that's coming out of that. And I love that I'm back to taking pictures, but I find I have to fly it like a GPS drone. Like I tried to chase something with it. Oh, I tried to chase an airplane. Oh no, I made myself sick. It's not the same. Like, chasing something with the goggles is so much fun, but like, I feel like that's not what the Mini 3 Pro is for. The Mini 3 Pro is for getting beautiful cinematic footage and photos. I can't use it for chasing. It definitely made me ill. So I'm going to have to get another FPV drone of some sort.
I have a Mavic Air 2S that I got for my birthday a few years ago. And I know when I first flew that, honestly, coming from FPV, it sort of freaked me out. I'm like, I can let go. I can like go have a sip of coffee. I could go let out the dog. Just
leave it up there. It's fine.
Like, this is so weird. I'm just so used to always putting just inputs into the controls.
Continuously flying, right? Yeah, I did feel like when we first switched from toys over to a Phantom 4, like a GPS drone, like I felt like it's almost like you didn't have to learn to fly anymore, but it's a different skill, because learning how to get nice, smooth, beautiful footage, that's like a different skill. But
having to control the camera tilt and the movement, like, wow, there's a little bit more to this. So I need more practice.
There is. People think that it's simple, and that's why sometimes even in like a professional production on television, you'll see like some crappy drone footage because they think anybody can fly it, and just need a quick shot of this car, and like you see like this sort of crap footage. It's like, you know,
have you seen the new Fallout show? Because they had a few drone shots and they were like a little shaky. I was like, oh.
Because that's just get one of the guys to fly and get this shot real quick. Like, they don't realize that it actually does take skill to get a nice cinematic Fear of missing out. Oh, with acro. Oh, I'll try yours. What's the matter? My cat is like calling to me. Are your friends outside? Drones, they're not just for old guys anymore. Oh, that's funny. Ken, what are you saying? The motion controller was popular with girls. What do you mean?
I
What do
don't.
you mean, Ken? Just purchase the Avada 2 and do easy acro with the Motion 3. Oh, I don't know about this, Joe. And he will not be peer pressured into manual. Oh, easy acro. Is that when you just like do a flip? That's like the toys do, Joe. I don't know if I see any use for that. The little like, you know, automatic flip. I don't know. I don't know what that's for. They had that on the toys. You just like push a button and it does a flip.
Now they have a button that you can press that battles drones, because I bought a pair and my students love to like battle each other, and every time they kind of zap one, it shakes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun to do with like a group.
Yeah.
So does it keep score?
I don't know that it keeps score. No, I think it just kind of makes it fly funny for a minute.
Oh, it just lets you know that you've been hit.
Yeah. But I think it helps them with their throttle control, throttle management. They have to line up their drone with the other one.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I can use the goggles with the Air 3 and the Mini 4 Pro. Oh, interesting. Oh, right. I know. Deneen used the Mini 3 Pro and she chased drift. You know, I didn't like it because like I was up high and the plane was below me, and I'm trying to hurry up and catch up with the plane, and something about looking down at my screen and the drone is looking down at the ground and I'm trying to like situate and find the airplane. I don't know. I made myself absolutely motion sick. I just could not do it. But I don't know. Deneen, you're tough. I'm tough. Well, what do you think? We have been chatting for almost 2 full hours. It's almost 10 o'clock already.
Your cats.
Yeah, he's back over here. I'm not sure what's up with you. Say hi to everybody. He's purring away. Purr into the microphone. This is content. Come on.
ASMR.
Yeah. I don't know. He like wants my attention tonight. I'm not sure what's up with him. It's probably time to play with the red dot. You know, we got to chase the red dot around the house. But okay, well, everyone, just in case you're late, like Coach, did you just show up? Coach, this is my friend MAKO REACTRA, and I just put her link in the chat. And I'm hoping everyone will hop over to her channel and give her a sub, and also check her out on Instagram, where she posts more videos over there. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed me having a guest for a change, mix it up a little bit, and meet someone new, right? Right, you guys? Yeah, I think you should have some new subs on your channel. So thank you to everyone who's subbed and who is going to check out some videos, because there's some great stuff over there. Oh, thank you. Coach is going to rewind.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, MAKO. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out for a while and telling us about your side of the drone world. And thank you, Joe. Thank you, Deneen. So Yes, that's the Tammie push. Let's get some subs over here. All right. Well, I will, I'm going to play the outro. Stick around for just a little bit, Mako. Everyone else, thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next week at 10 o'clock. I alternate times, but
Oh, I'm glad it's not 10 o'clock tonight.
oh, that's why I wanted you for an 8 o'clock show. All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.